Did you blow the whistle?
Yeah, I blew the whistle.
I didn't hear it, but I guess it happened. So dollar bets, dollar bets, dollar bets.
Yeah, you didn't blow the whistle. You were like that game last night, the Rams and the Vikings. So
Oh yeah,
sad. Oh, so sad.
the missed flag.
Well, there were two missed flags on the same play. The Vikings were clearly holding in
Yeah,
the
but
end zone.
one where they turned uh what's his name? Sam Darnold into Reagan from The Exorcist.
He thought it was like it's classic because he thought he turned his career around and they turned his head around and now it's a wash and their Vikings are. But hey, Darnold, I think your whole family's going down with Doyle. Like the Vikings
Listen,
are going down, dude.
as a Lions fan, I have experienced beyond my fair share of calls and botch calls, et cetera, et cetera. Where like I
Yeah.
can't feel, but at the same time, yeah, like there they showed replays where there's clearly three different referees that had unobstructed views of that penalty. So the fact that none of them saw it to the extent that it wasn't just like a mild grazing of his face mask. Like there was a hold and this guy's head got turned more than
Yeah, they're
90
like, you know what
degrees.
though? They're like, fuck it. Like, they're not winning. They're like, come on. I don't
Yeah,
care
let's
what
go home.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, what is Sam Darnold going to lead a 97-yard drive if we make this call and get a 2-point conversion and
With no
stop
timeouts.
them if in case they score too quick? Like, no, that's not happening. So they're like, yeah, I saw it. I saw it, bro. Like, taking my sweatshirt off. I'm just gonna hold it up to me because it's a Spartan sweatshirt. But yeah, it was awesome. Like hate week starts with a Vikings loss that they can complain about and focus on that instead of how they couldn't stop the Rams with their two weapons back.
Yeah.
Or
So we'll
they
just
had Kyron. Yeah, go ahead. Hate week.
I was gonna
What's
say,
hate
like,
week?
we'll finish this conversation off because like the big thing that's going around today is should they what can be reviewed by instant replay, right? In terms of penalty,
No.
like, no, absolutely
No.
not.
No.
Like, we can't. There's human error. Calls get missed all
Right.
the time in every single sport. We're not instant replaying every single play
No,
to
there's gonna
see.
be machine error, dude. Because it's like, how is a machine gonna do any better, dude? Like does the NFL really have that? They can't figure out concussions. Look at those Guardian helmets. They look ridiculous. Do they work or is it just like I don't know the technology behind it, and neither does Tua because he won't wear one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that this would actually be a very good time to segue into that. So the news came out today. Tua is going to play this weekend. It's
Yeah,
official. Knock
sad.
Tua is coming back.
Sack Tua this week, unfortunately. Well, it's like it's nice if you're is it nice if you're a Dolphins fan? It's nice if you own Hill or Waddle in fantasy. Other than that, it's like a tragedy in waiting,
So
I think.
back to reality, aside from fantasy, it is nice if you're a Dolphins fan because they've been doing absolutely horrible without
Yeah.
him. But it's just not nice if you have any humanity in you.
I
Like
know. It's like I feel so
I'm going
bad.
to probably watch a little bit just with like a hand over my eyes, just like
You're gonna
peeking out between
rubberneck
my
a
fingers.
Cardinals Dolphins game?
Like I am so just like I feel like I've already talked myself into it that like
Yeah.
he's going to get hurt again. Like he's
No,
going to
it's
get
I don't
another
think it's a matter
concussion
of when
within like
or
two
if. It's
games,
a matter of
maybe
when.
three.
Oh yeah, that's exactly the window I gave him because I was telling people I was telling him in my fantasy league, I was like, look, you can play him if you want, and I'll go over the competition thing and try to trade for him for so I can flip him before the deadline. But like the other two guys, but I'm like, that's just like an auto response of like the competitor in me, the ruthless person that I am. However, the human being is like, please go hang out with your family and do something else. Like, go play Scrabble while you still can or something. You know what I mean? Like, not good, bro. Not good.
Yeah, don't scrabble your brain anymore.
Right. Dribble a word, score. Touchdown.
Triple score.
Yeah, so we spoiler we took different sides of that game, actually.
We did. And I mean, obviously, so yes, Cardinals at Dolphins on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The return of Tua. O picked the Cards and Z went with the Fins.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, your pick is being swayed by the return of Tua.
I mean, it's more so that like someone can throw a forward pass, whether it's super accurate or not. I don't know,
I mean, if
but
Tua
like,
wasn't playing, you would not have picked the Dolphins, right?
no, those quarterbacks
Okay.
are terrible. Hill's gonna come out and like dominate for like a half, and then they'll win. They'll hang on. I think. He cried. He's like, I pretty much was crying that he was coming back. Like, you guys deserve each other, dude. Like, really? The guy's a stone cold crazy man, dude. It's like maybe you've had a lot of head issues, and that's why you are what you are, and you are crying about your teammate coming back for a week.
Well,
Like,
come on. This would be like the Terrell Owens meme. Like, that's my quarterback.
that's my quarterback, bro. Yeah, I know. But it's like, yeah, but why don't you? Okay, I mean, how many in our lives we're creative types, we're writers, we're this and that. How many people in our lives have been like, hey, do you think you should like do something else? Like if, and that's not a dangerous
I'm
thing.
biting my
Financial,
tongue so hard right now because I feel like I've said that to you once.
it's yeah, you've had it's financial. It's like financially, the same thing as like physically as with football. Like when you've had a concussion or five, and it's just like I think that for some reason the quarterback position is just like so much more obvious. Like, what are you doing? Like, you make so much money. It's like, hey guys, like take your millions. You're not like a fourth string cornerback that's had two or three and doesn't know he's crossed over to like that danger zone, right? So I don't know.
You know what they should do?
What's that?
You
Guardian
know that,
helmets for everybody?
well, not garden helmets, but you know
Flags?
these stupid new, like, oversized giant baseball hats that people are wearing, and you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about,
It's the same thing.
right?
It's like
Yeah,
when
they
in
should put that
GoldenEye,
amount of stuffing inside to his helmet.
GoldenEye helmets, like when you had Odd Job and he was really small and his head was really big. You played GoldenEye, right?
No, but I know who Odd Job is.
We lost the Gen Z demo and Gen Alpha. They're not Gen Alpha doesn't gamble yet, we hope. So
What
they're
is
like
Gen Alpha?
that's the one after Gen Z. Like if we had had kids like not together, but like 10 years ago or something, they'd be Gen Alpha. Like your
Okay.
niece and nephew type of thing is like Gen Alpha
When
right now.
I'm pretty sure my niece and nephew are Gen Z.
How old? I mean, they're older, like
I mean, my niece
teenagers.
is in college now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I have to call them out. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna pay you, so we kick off. I think you're gonna. Yeah, I think
Oh, we
you'll be
got some
motivated.
accounting to
We got
do.
accounting to do, baby.
And
So
by we, I mean Z.
I know Z has. Speaking of Gen
Open
Z,
up
this is
your Venmo.
this is Gen Z. Open up your Venmo, baby. Give me that money.
All right, so what do you owe me money for?
I owe you money for primarily the Liberty.
Yes, primarily the bet that you only had to
Insisted
enter
on.
because you won the previous bet.
Yeah, we made it fun. And it's still, guess what? I tried in absolute earnest, to make the WNBA without Caitlin Clark fun. And it was
Not fun because that game
miserable.
five, I was about to say game seven, just out of habit, but
The last
that
three
game
were
five
terrible.
was horrible.
The last three endings I only watched the endings of the last three. I was like, skip ahead like the last half of the fourth quarter of an NBA regular season game, right? You're like, oh, this might get good. Doesn't.
It's like me
It
with
was
the World
terrible.
Series. The only time I'll ever watch baseball.
Exactly. They got next. I'm going to putting they got next question mark. Remember that was their old
Yeah, we got
logo.
next. That was a
Yeah.
great slogan.
Yeah, was it? When was that coming? So I paid you $2. What was the other one for? So you had Colorado over Arizona, and I had
I
Kansas State over who?
West Va.
West Va. Okay. And then you had the Jaguars over the Patriots. Congratulations. Patriots started up well in that game, and then
All that. I don't know why you took the Pats in that game.
they were up 10-0. The same thing with like crazy, like the Titans over the Bills. I was like, whoa, am I gonna lose money? And like, nope, not. I
Nope.
won monies. I very much won monies the last 2 weeks. Except from O. And I like it that way because that first week of week one of NFL, week two of college football, or week one technically, I was like killing it. And I was like, I hit big, and then I lost $4 to O. And it's like the O tax. Oh yeah.
Yup.
So, and then I also I like doing these like conditional bets. We've been doing that like, okay, if this team wins, then you have to double or nothing uselessly so we can laugh about this product. And then the other thing we did was like if Russell Wilson plays that I'm hammering that dollar against you. And for a while it looked fine. And then the problem is that Aaron Rodgers dead armed a pass over the middle in the end of the first half when it was 15-6 Jets, and then they very quickly gave him a touchdown. And then Wilson returned the favor because the first pass was to Wilson, and early third quarter he bobbled a pass, went all the way down to the 2 yard line for the Steelers, and then they were just done after that. And it's like, Rodgers, do you have any fight left? You got your buddy to you pouted until you got your coach fired and your buddy to play with you, and you still suck. Why? Why is this? I'm thriving my 40s, Aaron Rodgers. Why are you not thriving in your 40s? What's wrong with you, Aaron Rodgers?
All right. I have received your Venmo payment.
Okay.
Let's get
Are you
into the
empty,
next week.
Aaron? Okay. Okay. So college.
So here's what I'm
Week.
thinking we should do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're gonna start with college. We're just gonna rip through our picks right now, and then we're
Yeah.
going to each of us are gonna say which of our picks we'll pick just one game like that we feel really good about our pick and one game that we're not feeling so good about.
Okay. And then we'll talk. We'll finish this segment about MSU the last
Oh
couple
yeah.
minutes, and then we'll go. Hey,
Oh, we got a big game
Oh
for us
yeah. Oh
tomorrow.
yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. All
Oh
right, so
yeah.
here we go. You want me to just read through these picks?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, we got the Friday night game tonight at 10:30 Eastern. Boise State at UNLV. We
Correct.
are both going with Boise State.
We're ripping it.
I thought you were going to take UNLV. I was so looking forward to getting a dollar from you on that one.
Well,
But
if they were bigger underdogs, where I would have taken the UNLV side, but they're like not favored, but they're like 4 points, 4.5. And I'm like, you know what? That's a Boise money line pick.
yeah, all
Boise.
right.
Can't stop them. Can't stop
Don't
JNT.
worry, we've got to bet on the next one because we
Yeah.
got Notre Dame at Navy,
Yeah.
the Irish
No,
at the midshipmen. I'm going with the military academy. You're going with the Catholics.
I'm going Notre Dame. However, I think they lose to Army later. I think Army knocks them out.
We'll bet on that one when it comes to.
I know, but I'm saying I'm not picking both service academies against Notre Dame. I guess Notre Dame they're not overlooking this one because Navy hasn't lost. I think it's gonna be close. I did take one parlay leg where I took Navy like plus 12.5 or something. But yeah, where that's a dollar bet. Okay, Indiana and Washington, backup
Yeah.
quarterback. Are you nervous about it?
Um, no, because
No, the coach is legit. Their offensive line is nice. Not
yeah, and
quite
I mean
Lions nice, but it's nice.
this is obviously not Washington from a year ago.
No, because they lost their offensive coordinator. They lost Odunze. They lost Penix. They lost McMillan. And they lost their head coach, which I'm putting fifth at
And
this
Jeremy
point.
Bernard.
Yeah, that's Bernard too. Yeah, I mean he was a great third or fourth guy, basically.
Yeah. All right, let's keep
Okay.
ripping through these. So yeah, we both took Indiana at home, by the way, where ESPN game day is going to be.
Wow.
Staying in the Big Ten, Illinois at Oregon. We both went with the Ducks.
Matchup. Yeah, I think Oregon wins by probably 10-13 is what I think. Illinois has got a good defense, so we'll see what happens. I think it's
Good
slow them down.
defense.
They do.
Illinois
BYU's,
does
yeah.
have a good defense.
We took BYU.
They're in their best. They're good against the run, so Oregon's
Yeah.
just going to have to air it out.
And Gabriel is going to make mistakes. He's like a ninth-year quarterback that still throws like hospital balls and mistake balls. And so we'll see. But they have the best offensive line. They have really good skill players on the receiver high end receiver in Stewart and those running backs. James, I think is his name, the running back, and their defense. They got a Spartan transfer, so of course it's fine. Harmon, first rounder,
Yeah.
early second rounder. Yeah, but I
Amazing
think
how
it's
many
close.
Spartans have gone on to other schools,
It's
bigger
fine.
programs, and
It's a
have
new
just been
landscape,
amazing.
you know. I mean, so yeah, we went with a close-ish Oregon game. I'd say Illinois cover, but an Oregon win. It's comfortably.
Yeah.
All right, here we got it. We got a different
Yeah,
one
we
here.
got the battle of the three-letter schools, BYU and UCF.
Oh yeah,
Let's go with the
BYU.
Mormons.
Yeah, we're going the Mormon team. Um, yeah, their quarterback is you really overhyped that guy, man. He made maybe three good throws, but the whole game, but two of them were on the last drive, and one was a run on the last drive. Did you see the end of that game? Oh my God, I won on that. That was awesome. I'm up there like 2 a.m. just like ripped on some power, like just like yeah, let's go BYU. I'm like trying not to wake up the lady, and I was like, oh yeah, BYU. It was fantastic. We're both yawning. I'm getting my night coffee, but we're dedicated. We're getting through this. Alabama hosting.
Hosting Missouri.
This is a weird matchup
This is a
because
weird matchup. I think that is
this
a
is a
perfect
playoff
way to describe it.
elimination, playoff eliminator. Because
Um,
I don't think Missouri has the schedule after Alabama to if they run the table because Texas A&M obliterated them that I think they're in trouble. But I don't care. I took them. However, I locked in this pick like weeks ago. So like we're gonna we're sticking to it. I'm gonna say Missouri wins this game.
and I'm saying roll tide. Do
Well,
not get
obviously.
eliminated just yet from the playoff
Not
because
yet. Okay.
Alabama cannot lose another regular season game.
They will. Texas and Vandy.
Texas and Vandy. Looks
Hmm.
like it's Texas and Texas for us.
Yeah, that was a reluctant pick. I that's another one where I think Vanderbilt probably covers, but I would take the alt spread to like 24 and a half. It's 18 or so. I would take like
Texas
24 and
is
a half.
mad.
So,
Texas is
doesn't
going
Vanderbilt's
to.
good.
Okay,
Their
that's
coaches,
fine.
they have
Texas is very good.
Vanderbilt has probably the second best coach in the SEC right now.
What position does he play?
Coach. He got
Yeah.
that quarterback. He's got that quarterback believing. Those guys believe. Here's the thing. If you think Alabama has redemptive value, then how can you discount what Vanderbilt did to them, right? It's a fallacy to think Alabama just screwed up and Vanderbilt's not good, but Alabama will rebound.
Because
This
if you
weekend
play
they
that
won.
game 10 times, Alabama's winning nine of them.
Are they playing like they did that way? Because their offense wasn't a problem. They couldn't stop anybody. They suck, man. They're not good. Their coaching staff is not the vibe, dude. Like that is not happening. But because Missouri has like 17 injuries, I mean, they did skate by last week because their quarterback returned mid-game from the hospital like it's freaking
He
Tecmo
went
Bowl.
full
And
on Willis Reed,
Willis Reed. Yeah, and he kept me alive
71.
on that bet. And then Alabama crushed some parlays for me last week. Okay, so PSU, Penn State, PU. I got Wisconsin. Why?
Nah,
It's a
Nittany's on the
decent
road.
spread. It's a decent spread. Wisconsin's at home. You know what? Franklin,
I
is
know
Franklin
you
gonna get
hate
it done?
Franklin, but you know what? I am still believing in Penn State this year. They are looking good.
No, here's the thing. They know they have an opportunity in front of them the next week, but that opportunity becomes an eliminator if they lose to Wisconsin. So I'm just picking it. I'm just doing it. Whatever. I don't care. It's $1. It's $1.
It's a
I'm
dollar.
flush. Baby. I'm running hot. Screw it.
All
I'm
right,
running
back to
cold
the
as hell against
SEC.
Bo. Yeah.
LSU, Texas A&M in College Station.
Yes.
It's another dollar bet. O going LSU, Z going with the A&Mers.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about why on this one or afterwards? Like, what do you think?
Um, yeah, let's talk about
Okay, I feel like you haven't watched Texas A&M play.
it. um, I will not rebut that. How much have you watched of LSU?
I watched them play. Oh, was it USC? I watched them play Ole
That
Miss.
was not them.
They're not. They're winning games. The
What is
Ole Miss
USC? Is
game
USC
was,
a sub 500 team at this point?
yeah,
Yeah.
and they lost to them.
So, yeah. And then since then, LSU has knocked off 6 wins in a
Yeah,
row, most of them by, or at least half of them by about 20 points.
I mean, I saw Ole Miss choke in that game, so I mean, I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
Ranked high.
Yeah.
Texas A&M,
LSU,
Texas A&M, no
put,
one's talking.
what's that?
Texas A&M is no one's talking about them. However, while I appear confident right here for this dollar, for this crucial dollar, I am not planning on taking anything on this game unless I take a Texas A&M teaser, actually, to like 10.5 or like 7.5, because LSU has the better quarterback, I think, but I think that's the only position they're for sure better at.
Yeah.
A&M's got the better running back. They got better receiving core right now, I think. They got Machine Muhammad's son, and they got some other guys. Their running back's good. They dismantled Missouri. Missouri has a good defense, but Texas A&M bottled them up. They bottled up Notre Dame, but Notre Dame bottled them up too. But that was game one. So I don't. I think A&M's ready to prove that they belong in the playoff conversation. And this is not an eliminator for LSU though, because we I think we touched on this before, right? Like that we
Yep.
at least two or three teams from the SEC are going to be in the playoff with two losses, and so this only becomes an eliminator if Texas A&M loses, because a loss to Notre Dame is magnified, right? If Notre Dame runs the table with their schedule the rest of the way. Okay, but dollar it is, dollar it is. Colorado, I reluctantly took Colorado just to not lose on Colorado again. Really, that's all I have to say about that. Future Florida State coach if Florida State's smart. Future Oklahoma coach possibly. Future. What if he goes to Michigan? How do you feel about
Gross.
that?
I don't want to
Gross.
talk about that.
I mean, it's highly possible. They're so arrogant. It's a match made in hell, so it's fine. You took
All right.
Kansas State. That's I tried to trick you. I tried to
Yeah,
trick you.
so I mean, I took Kansas State for the exact same reason that you just took Colorado.
Why?
Tired of losing.
Well, you said you were like, I'm gonna take wherever they're playing, and I tried to trick you. It didn't
Yeah,
work.
listen, I hate Kansas State,
Okay, that's
but
so irrational, and it's so. I mean, what your
we don't
reasons are
have to
your
get into the backstory of that here on the
wait,
air, but it's just a
your reasons
thing.
are your reasons, and it's clearly
Yep.
personal.
Sometimes I
But
pick with my head and
I know,
sometimes I pick with my heart.
yeah. Okay, so there you go.
But
Okay, so what is
but
your?
Kansas is just
They suck. They're done.
we're talking about football here. So,
They peaked. They peaked a year or two ago, a year and a half
yeah.
ago, and it's
So,
like the coach should have left. They're done.
yeah. So,
The Big
all
12
right.
got worse, and they're still done. Okay,
So,
so
quick recap on the college games. We are
yeah,
betting Navy, Notre Dame. We're betting Bama, Missouri, Penn State, Wisconsin, and LSU A&M.
okay. I mean, I you wanted to talk about regrets. I mean, the
Oh yeah.
Missouri thing is the Missouri thing is like when I picked it a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm going to pick this. I think this is going to happen. I picked Missouri to go to the championship before, but sometimes. It's stacked up against you because of other factors. What admittedly the first factor was that A&M put them on thin ice because they crushed them. They crushed them. However, the second factor, unfortunately, is the multitude of offensive injuries for an offense that was already kind of occasionally explosive, but altogether middling, which puts pressure on their strong defense. Their coach is really good, Drinkwich or Drinkich,
Mhm.
whatever, whatever. He's got more money than me, so I don't need to pronounce his name right. Okay. Um, I would think I'm gonna try to guess what your regret pick is, or like, actually, I'm gonna confidently say that we are proud of what we just did. I don't think you're worried about Navy. I think you believe.
So that is definitely my one that I'm most
Was that
Good
a
about.
heart pick? It was a heart pick. Like you like the Naval Academy, or you just like the
No,
offense?
it was definitely not a heart pick, but
Yeah.
I just I see some vulnerabilities in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just the right type of team, but I mean, Navy, while they might be undefeated, while they might be ranked, here's
Hmm.
who they've played this year:
Nobody.
Bucknell,
Ooh, the
Temple,
Bison. Ooh, Jesus.
yeah, Bucknell, Temple, Memphis, UAB,
Memphis is
Alabama,
good.
Birmingham, Air
Okay, not good.
Force, and
Not
Charlotte.
good. Why are they ranked?
A murderer's row. They have not played anybody who's a Power Four team.
Memphis is good though. They're decent.
Memphis is good.
If not for
Yeah, Memphis is
Janty,
six
or
and
however you pronounce his name, I think it's Janty, right? For Boise State. If not for
yeah,
Boise State's
Genty.
Janty and Army, Memphis would be in the conversation. But they're
Yeah.
not.
But they
They're
don't
not.
have Ashton Genty. So the
No, he's
conversation's
so
over.
good. He's so good, dude.
Dude, he is we'll talk about more
We'll talk
him
about that. We'll talk about that. So for me, I would
later, but
say
he's for sure.
there is nothing I would regret picking because I explained that I did the Missouri thing weeks ago. It was partially fortifying my prior position, and I don't care. And that's fine. Are they going to win?
It's fine.
Yes. Penn State is like that's such a toss up because it's a touchdown spread or less. Wisconsin, this is their season. They've only lost two games. They lost to Alabama and I believe they lost to Ohio State or something or
What do you mean by it's
somebody.
their season? It's not like there's divisions in the Big Ten anymore. They're
No, but if you go 10-2 in the Big Ten, you're in the conversation. If your only
okay,
other loss was Alabama, you lost one game in the Big Ten. They're
sure.
who would they lose to? They lose to Ohio State or Illinois
So,
or Indiana. I think it was Illinois or Penn State. They lost to Illinois or Ohio State,
do you
almost in
just
sure.
want to name like all of the Big Ten teams? Because then it'll
No,
probably be one of them.
did they lose to Rutgers or something? Who did they lose to? Find out. I don't care.
I'm looking,
Okay.
I'm looking, I'm
Okay.
looking.
It was
Wisconsin. Here we go. Wisconsin lost to Bama and then at USC the following week.
they choked the
Yeah. In the Big Ten, they beat Purdue, Rutgers, and Northwestern.
whatever. This is the loss at Penn State. Knocks them out of the playoff because Ohio State's definitely beating their guts in.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
I'm gonna hammer that game. Let's see. Okay, I got no like I really put the Kansas in to trick you. I tried to steal a dollar. That's an awful game. I will stay up late to watch it, but it's an awful, awful game.
All right. Zioli, I'm giving you a bonus game here to pick.
Okay.
Tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern on the Big Ten Network, Michigan State at the Cheaters.
This is, you know what? Let's just get to my hammer play because I'm calling the Michigan State. Drop the fucking hammer, ring the
Drop it.
bell, drop it. Take all my swear jar money and put it on the goddamn Spartans because Michigan has a three-headed pustule of a quarterback room, okay? They have some guy that was a walk-on, Warren, which is actually a place in Michigan, more so than a quarterback name.
It is. It's
They
actually
got
one of the
some
biggest
guy.
cities in Michigan.
I have family from there. There's some guy named Orgy, not spelled correctly, not throwing forward passes correctly, and a guy that I hadn't heard of. I was like, oh, must be like a young guy that they're grooming. He's 25. When he goes out with a co-ed, it's grooming at that point. Like this guy should not be playing crappy quarterback for an empire of cheating despair. Okay, you're going down. The coach is a patsy. He's a fall guy. He's gonna get fired immediately. They're gonna embarrass themselves on semi-national TV. And at night, under the lights, the bright lights of the Big Ten are too much for Sharon Moore and his post-cheating, pre-cheating organization. They're in the middle. They're stuck in the middle with Sharon, and he's gonna be Mascherone out of town, rode out of town on a on like a on like a tank or something. I don't know. Just probably a pickup truck with a stolen propane tank from Walmart or something. You know, I don't
Give
know.
us a score prediction.
A score prediction?
Yeah.
Let's see. Their rush defense, Michigan does have the only advantage they have is a combination of their offense and defensive line as a combination. I think our defensive line is probably as good as theirs, but we only have one good offensive line game on tape. However, it was post bye. It was last game. They dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, surprisingly against Iowa. I thought we'd beat Iowa, but it's primarily because I thought their offense is atrocious perpetually. I'm calling Kim has 4 or 5 field goals. Let me add this up. Michigan scores 13 or less. Yes.
Wow.
We are getting 26 or more and 4 or more field goals. So the question is, do we score 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, or 4 touchdowns? I'm saying it's 26 to 13 or less, 33 to 13 or less, or 40 to 13 or less. We are going to pound the shit out of those megalomaniacal losers from Ann Arbor.
All right. So
A
I've got a little
squared.
bit more of a specific prediction.
Okay.
And if you want to read about my predictions, you can go over to theonlycolors.com. But
Yeah.
I predicted a 30-20 Spartan victory on the road.
Okay. How they scored
Um,
20 points?
what's that?
Did you have like a? I like the score, but like I'm trying to think like logistically, what is your vision for them getting 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals?
I mean, the 2 touchdowns are, you know, even a broken clock is correct twice a day. Like
So that what's that?
they're
Not an
gonna
N word.
get a couple of run plays that will produce.
What's his?
Like
He starts with an H, right? Slippy, Slappy, Swenson.
just look on the briefcase.
Yeah, check the briefcase. Oh, Samsonite.
I wasn't even close.
Their other running back, he's good. He's
Who?
better than Edwards.
Edwards
No, the other one.
and the other guy.
The other guy's good.
Um,
He's very good.
yeah, what's his name? I'll tell you in
Why
two
don't they just play
seconds.
wishbone or something? They shouldn't even have a quarterback. Like we're gonna put 10 in the box and they're gonna get one long
Oh yeah,
touchdown.
Mullins.
Mullins, that's right, not an H. I was way off. So I think they're gonna score a touchdown from 30 yards or more out as their only touchdown. It's gonna be a run play. It's gonna be late first half or mid or in garbage time, or not quite garbage time. But it's gonna never feel in doubt once we get up by a full score. And we have
Yeah.
the best kicker in college football. If we stall, he can hit from 56 and in, dude. Like he had 6 field goals out of 7, and his only miss was 50 something.
Yep.
Ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just like inevitability, like our only weakness at this point against a team that isn't a playoff team from specifically Oregon or Ohio State. Our weakness at this point is if they just stick with the aggression too much because we're trying to develop a program and a program needs a leader of a quarterback that's capable of getting in a drive, taking him down the field, or if we over rely on him on his arm, throwing the home run ball to Marsh or the other guys. I think they could theoretically score multiple field goals and a touchdown off a mistake or two. And that's why I mercifully grant those losers from AA 13 points or less. Or less. We're going to win the game. We have a superiority, not a complex, a superiority certainty at quarterback, at wide receiver, at coach, at defensive coordinator, at offensive coordinator. Apparently, I mean, maybe the offensive coordinator for Michigan, whose name is doesn't matter, long loser.
Yep. All right. And then to all of our listeners who
Yeah. Hold
You're going to be
on.
watching. What?
No, you're breaking up. You're too close to Ann Arbor. You're getting tapped. Your Zoom's tapped.
Oh,
Okay,
are we having
try
some
again.
technical difficulties here?
What is this we? Like you're in that Detroit wireless, man. I don't know what you're talking about. What are
I
you
don't
talking
know, but
about?
you keep freezing on me. But anyway,
That's you. Okay, go ahead.
just for those of you guys watching that game on TV, look for the
Hmm.
guy on the sidelines wearing the green MSU hoodie with the camera, because that's going to be me.
What
And
type of camera? You got a disposable like Walmart camera?
it's a Polaroid.
It's a Polaroid. There's time
No,
release. It's nothing.
it's a legit get a photographer field pass camera with
I
with
want you to
switchable
find.
lenses and the whole thing. But listen, if this game is going real well, like I might just run out onto the field and start taking pictures.
Okay, I
Like
have requests. These are requests. They're from our listeners. I got a bunch of emails. I did not. I'm saying this is me. We're going to bit. Okay, we're doing a bit. So I want you to spend the entirety of the game picking out those losers in the crowd.
you want
Losers
surrender
like
Cobra photos?
I want the surrender Cobra photo from the 2015. They're trouble with this, and the ball is on the field. Oh my God. Amazing. It warms my heart. You know that tiny hope in the back of your mind. And I was in a low place at that point. That was a nice respite that year. And I was just like, ooh, this is great. What if we just block it? What happens if we block it and then kick a field goal? And we're like, no, we don't want a field goal. We're gonna run it in. And we're gonna score on the last play of the game.
So I'll tell you the story. So I was in Tel Aviv, Israel
Wow.
for that game. It was,
That's right. You were over there. You were
I
living
was
there,
over
right?
there 7 hours into the future. So this game was at like
So you
two
knew.
o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. This game was wrapping up. And I'm sitting there at this sports bar in Tel Aviv. There were probably like 7, 8 Michigan people in there. And
Mm.
then me, and there was like one other Michigan State person who was there with those. They were all
Technical difficulties. He can't even speak ill of
loving
them.
it ball with the button came to watch the game with me who didn't understand anything about American football. But anyway, right before that play starts, I just shout out for everyone in the bar to hear, "I need a miracle," and everyone just looks at me.
We're
And then
like,
the play
hey, we're not
happens,
that far from Miracle Land.
and a miracle happened, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" And like all I could think about afterwards is like, you know what? Prayers get answered real quickly over here in the Holy Land.
That's great. Michigan is a dumpster fire of a place. Not the state. The state is lovely, except for the Detroit area Wolverine pockets and the other pockets of Wolverinedom and Ann Arbor. So
I don't want to talk about Michigan anymore. All I can say
I
is
don't like
Michigan
them.
State is winning that game tomorrow.
We're gonna kick their ass. Hate
It's
week is
happening.
full go. We are full steam ahead. Hate week. Spartans. All
All right,
right. Before we break into a full fight song, we're gonna move on to our NFL picks. Okay.
let's go. All right.
Keep it moving.
We had a game
Okay.
last night, Thursday night trash football, but we both got it right. We both picked the Vikings. I'm sorry, we both no, we both got it wrong.
Yeah, the
We
Rams
both
won
got
that,
it
dude.
wrong.
I did it wrong on purpose. I just didn't. I saw you. I was like, I think he's gonna take Vikings. I don't want to lose this game. I'm taking Vikings. I
So
wanted it
here's
with
what
my
I
head.
wrote. Here's what I wrote on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, it was
I
funny.
wrote Vikings, and then I went into parentheses. I'm going against all my logic in this pick. Road team on a Thursday night after playing the Lions. I should pick
Yes.
Rams, especially with ncaa looking like he's playing. I'm going to repick. I'm going to regret this pick. I am sure of it.
Oh yeah, you would have won $1 off me because I wasn't prepared. I saw the Rams up close, and I'm like, they're not that good. However, their defense looked better in the second half because their offensive players were back. I was like, if you have three top end players in Cup Nakua and Kyron Williams, and then Stafford occasionally, Stafford looked like his old self. And you know why? Because Minnesota, your whole family's going down. Okay. They also lost their left tackle. Darnold's going to be full tilt now. He's done. I mean, actually, their schedule is pretty easy for a few weeks, and then it gets hard, and then they're done. Then they're done. They're going to go
Yeah.
9-8 or worse.
Yeah. All
Would
right.
you
Here we
dollar
go.
bet right now that they don't win 11 games or more?
I'm not taking that bet. I agree with that
Why?
completely.
Because I don't want that to happen. I will not take your bet. I will not take your dollar bet.
Wait, you're saying that they won't make it to 11, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I agree. Why would I bet?
Yeah, because they got another game at Detroit. They got at Chicago. They already played at Green Bay though, so whatever. Who
And
cares?
one.
I hate them.
All
I
right,
hate them.
let's moving along. Here we go. Sunday games. Eagles at
Yeah,
Bengals. Eagles,
Eagles.
Eagles, we agree. All right, Ravens at Browns. Come on, don't waste my time. Ravens. Titans at Lions.
Don't waste our time.
Don't
Lion.
waste my time. Lions.
Roar.
Although the Lions are dealing with additional injuries now to their defensive end position. They're like out their like first six edge players. It's absurd.
I don't think they win a playoff game unless they get some help there. I just
We're
don't.
going to get some help. Don't even worry about it. We don't have to talk about it. All right, here we go. Here's a bet. Cardinals at the returning Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh yeah, we covered that though. Dolphins. I got Dolphins.
And that was enough to sway your vote to the. But I'm going with the Cards.
All right. They stink. All right, next.
Yeah. Next. All right. Jets at Pats.
Jets.
Jets. Yeah.
Just end the season
not
is
any good, Pats. We don't like the Jets because of their quarterback, but the Pats are just not good. Here's one that I thought we were going to disagree on.
Okay.
Falcons at Bucks. A rematch. Falcons hosted the Bucks earlier this season and won.
Why did you think I would take the Bucks after I watched the Bucks Ravens game, like when they totally collapsed and then their coach got Godwin hurt in a needless situation? He didn't even know that you can't kick more than two onside kicks. The dude just straight up didn't know the freaking rules. He didn't know, and then he gets Godwin hurt on a hip tackle. But you can blame the hip tackle. I'm still blaming the coach. Like
the hip drop thing.
Yeah, there was less than 2 minutes in the game. The Ravens had already pulled their quarterback and Henry because they're like, they can't possibly come back unless we fumble twice. It was over, beyond over.
First of all, I'm not gonna have lesser thoughts of a team for losing to the Ravens. The Ravens are really good. They've got a quarterback and a running back that are playing at MVP levels right now.
Right, but the point is the Bucks lost their top two receivers, one for the year and one for half the year, probably.
Yeah, that hurts.
It hurts.
Right, well,
they're
so
screwed.
bottom line, we both think the Falcons are going to win.
I think the Falcons are pretty mediocre as hell, and I still think they're going to win that game, but I'm not going to bet it.
Yeah, my opinion of the Falcons seems to be changing every week.
I know you're like a changeling about the Falcons. You're like they're like a Griffin or a Phoenix for you. They're not the Falcons.
All right, here we go.
All right,
Packers at the Jags.
Packers.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah.
I got them in the cover too, honestly. -4 and 4.5 something. Fuck, it's Packers. Yeah.
Jaguars are. Yeah, we both picked the Jaguars preseason to make it to the playoffs, and no.
Yeah, but we correctly identified, at least in the AFC, that was like we have to take 7 of these teams. That's what happened. That's what happened. One team that's total shit is gonna play either the Chiefs or the Bills. Probably the Bills at this point because Chiefs are like 2 games ahead of the Bills.
Let me ask you this: if I were to get a petition going on change.org for the NFL to go back to 6 teams per conference, would you sign it?
Hell no.
What?
No, because
I hate the 7.
You really think that the way the NFC North is shaping up? I mean, at least I'm saying that the Vikings feel like an anomaly right now, and they're proving it in the last couple weeks. I mean, at least last week they went against the Lions and that was a good game, or they came back and they showed fight.
Yeah,
this time they collapsed.
Came down to the wire. That could have gone either
this
way.
time they collapsed. They fell
and
apart.
nobody wins after playing the Lions. It has literally not happened this season. Every team the Lions played, has gone on to lose the following week. The
And
exception
going
is
back to the
Dallas because
Super
they had a
Bowl
bye
too.
week.
It goes
What's
back
that?
to the Super Bowl also.
It goes back to the Super Bowl. It goes back to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is why you should want the 7 seeds, because 3 of the NFC North teams, plus the Vikings, have a good record and are slightly downward trending right now, anyways, are the best 3 teams in the NFC. And I don't think it's particularly close right now. It doesn't mean that the Bears and Packers are legitimate. It just means that right now the Lions are vastly superior. And the only teams that have the personnel, even on a good day, San Francisco and the Eagles, are been mid at best. And I mean, the Bears and Lions, like, and the Packers, like, if they just straight up split those games, if they all go 2-2-2-2, guess what? They're all 3 in the playoffs guaranteed, right? At that point, right? Like, it's like
Listen,
almost a lock.
I need you to stop putting your Bears in the same category as my Lions. You guys just are not as good of a team, and it's just
You're gonna find
you
out,
guys
buddy.
haven't played any games yet. This division is
Any
going to
division
cannibalize
games?
itself, and the Bears are going to be a casualty of it.
Well, congratulations for playing the Vikings when they still have a pulse, instead of when they're dragging ass when the Bears are gonna play them twice.
Yeah.
So, hey, the Bears are catching some breaks. I'll admit that. Jayden Daniels probably isn't gonna play. So,
No, he is going to play.
you think he's gonna play?
I mean, that's what the headlines are saying.
At what time did you check them? Because I might have
This
missed the
was
last
earlier
hour.
this afternoon.
Is it the sporting news dot web again? Or
No,
whatever
it was on
garbage you sent me
ESPN.
before? They said he might.
Yeah, might
Not
means
is
yes.
playing. No, it doesn't mean yes.
Yeah, it means yes. Do you want a
No.
dollar bet that he's going to play?
No, because I win way more if he doesn't play than $1. They have no chance with Mariota, dude. They have no
Yeah,
freaking chance with Mariota. They can't keep up.
yeah.
They're a good running team,
Washington.
but yeah. If you take away Jayden Daniels' explosive threat of the run, it's much like a team like Milrow if you just put him in the pocket, and it's just like you made a hurt guy. I mean, why? Okay, imagine for a second that instead of this really efficient, clean pocket quarterback that's on a heater, Goff is on a heater. Let's be clear about that. But imagine instead of that, you had a guy that was like Vic and prime Russell Wilson, and just you shook him up and you let him loose, right? And you had that. Would you risk that for a non-divisional game in October for busted up ribs when it's your first year coaching there and you're trying to atone for blowing a Super Bowl? Would you do that?
Listen, if the athletic trainers say and the doctors say he's good enough to play, he plays.
They haven't really said that.
I mean, they're
Play is different
saying
than
he's
practice.
better. They're saying that they can't rule him out. They're saying he's got a chance to play.
Chance to play. I don't think he plays. I think the Bears hammer him. If he plays, I think they win by like 6.
I think he plays, and I think they win.
You want to double that
So,
one?
no.
What comes before? What games come before that? Let's wrap it up. I'm fired up. It's 8 week. I used to hate Washington until they
What was
really.
the last one we did? Did we get to Colts and Texans? Oh, we got to. All right, dude, we got to fly here. Here we go. Colts at the Texans. We both agree with the Texans.
Yeah.
Saints at the
Chargers.
Chargers. We're
Who
going
cares?
with
Chargers.
San
Yeah,
Diego.
that's a loser of a game. Dud game. Okay.
Next.
Bills.
All right, here we go. Bills at
Bills.
Seahawks.
Bills.
I'm saying Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are ripe for a slip up here.
Now,
Going
Seattle
to the West Coast.
doesn't run the ball enough. They're stupid. They have Kenneth Walker and they just throw nonstop.
Kenneth Walker is, well, I can't say he's looking like the best because there's a lot of really good looking running backs in the NFL right now, but
he's top 5 right now. Henry's
top
obviously
5 easily. He looks really good. Like
Henry's
some of the
in
things
God
he did in their
tier.
game against the Lions, like he had some unbelievable runs. Just like He had
Henry
no
is.
business breaking off some of
Could
these
you imagine
tackles.
Henry and Walker on the same team? Oh my God. In a full house backfield with a running quarterback like Lamar or Daniels or something.
Okay,
Oh
well,
my
that will never
God.
happen.
I would drool over that. Even Fields would take that team to a Super Bowl, man. Jeez, look at that. Oh God, that would never happen. Okay.
Will Levis would take that to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just think DK's banged up is probably gonna miss the game too. I take the Bills. Okay. Broncos Panthers. Oh, what a joke of a game that's gonna be. Pass.
Broncos.
19-3. And by 19 I mean probably like 37 to
And yeah, Bryce Young back in at quarterback.
That's actually weirdly the only thing that gives me pause about the spread. Like he's playing for a job against a good defense. Like the coach has no choice but to play him. So he has to do because he got in a Volvo accident or something. I don't know. He's got a family. I just assume Andy Dalton drives a souped up Volvo. Okay, next. Chiefs, Raiders. This is obvious, right? Chiefs. You there? Did you just get
Yeah.
Detroit wireless again? Okay. Wait, go ahead.
Now,
Well,
I
this
was
one.
thinking about pretending like I was going to take the Raiders, but I couldn't do that to you. Yeah,
Uh,
Chiefs easily, no discussion.
So this is like you just got. I mean, you took the Commanders, but you really think that uh not 100, not even 90% Daniels or Mariota is going to beat Chicago with their secondary. Even their secondary is banged up, but like the way to beat Chicago is run down their throat and put pressure on them offensively to not put their defense out there right away. So make Chicago have a quick drive while you have a long drive, and then you just run on them in the third or fourth quarter because the second half they won every second half the whole season, I think, except for the no, they've won every second half the whole season.
Okay, with a
So
very easy strength of schedule.
they played the Texans at the Texans and they won that second half. They played the Colts. They that was the one game they had sucked at. The Texans were just like I don't know, man. You talk about strength of schedule. Besides the Ravens game, I mean, the Commanders haven't played anybody any good.
Well, you know what I suggest then?
What's that? Double
We
it
should
up?
dollar bet that game.
Obviously, we're doing the dollar bet
We are
because
doing
you
it.
already took the Commanders. I mean, I
Yup.
put way more than a dollar on this. I don't care because I anticipating or a banged up Daniels or a Mariota situation. I think this is a coming out party. They flexed it for the Bears, not for the Commanders. Bye. Give me that dollar. Okay. And then we got the Cowboys. I took the Cowboys at
I
49ers.
took the Niners.
Cowboys been playing better on the road, weirdly. I don't know. So
They
strange.
didn't
I
play
can't.
very good at home recently. I'll tell you that.
Well, you guys have the gear. That the Chiefs don't have this gear, but they don't need the gear because they're so experienced. But you guys have the gear that other teams like probably don't have. Um, that was a hate game. That was a Michigan State
Oh, there was
like
so much.
type of
I mean,
hate.
you saw what the coaches were doing. The coaches were just throwing everything in the book at them.
Yeah, but it's like, do they think that they would have beaten San Francisco if they had won the home field, and they think that Dallas cost them that? They were up 17 points and they lost. So why would they have won at home?
I don't know. Why are you bringing up old shit?
Because it's like that's what they were doing. They were resting on some old shit. They're worried about last year and about style points. Kansas City's like, who are we playing with the receiver this week? I don't care.
Yeah. Whoever they can get in a trade this week,
They no, they
because every
got
other
Hopkins.
GM in the league apparently hasn't realized that they should stop giving Mahomes weapons.
I mean, they're desperate losers. It's the Titans at this time. No, yeah, and they're losers. It's a
Yeah.
desperate franchise.
There you go. Come play the
Yeah,
Lions and trade away two of your best pieces right before that game. All right,
I
last
know.
one. Giants at Steelers. The
Steelers
Giants are
dud
not
of
a
a
good
game.
team, so
No,
Steelers.
Steelers defense.
Is that
We'll
really the
rule
Monday
that
night
game.
game?
Every single game, and this from this point forward, is Steelers or Jets are playing in it, or Cowboys. It's like, what are we doing? Or 49ers. Does anyone want to see? Well, Cowboys are interesting to watch because they will either play really marvelously or totally implode, and whatever you think they're gonna do, they'll do the opposite. So, yeah, I think this is a dud ass schedule. This is a shitty schedule this week. The
Yeah.
spreads are most of them are over 4 points. The Lions are 11 or 12 point favorites. The Denver Broncos with a rookie quarterback that's not named Caleb Williams or Jayden Daniels is a 10-point favorite over last year's number one pick. That's weird, right? And it's happening and it's gonna happen. Denver is probably gonna be that 7 seed that you're like, oh, I need a change.org. Change.org 7 seed elimination. This is hate week. Your hate week. We're hating on hate, hate, hate. 7 seed. What else do you hate right now in sports? We'll finish strong with some hate.
What do I hate? I don't really hate anything.
Really? Because
Sports are
you're
going well right now.
sports are going well.
We
You got
got
the Lions.
NBA just began. College basketball's just over a week away.
We're
Lions are
gonna get into
doing
that next
Lions
week.
awesome things.
Are
And
you are you
Michigan
gonna
State's about to win Hate Week tomorrow night,
hate,
and
hate,
I'm
hate? All
on the
right.
field.
All right. Well, here's my hate hammer. Drop the hate hammer. This is a three-prong play. Screw it. I'm adding your Lions to it. Even though it's a money line and it's a lopsided one. As a parlay leg, whatever. Take the Lions, take the Bears, take Michigan State, and hate it to the bank. Oh, I love you and I love Spartans and I hate Wolverines. Hate, hate, hate. Bye.
Hate late.
Hi, everyone. I'm Geraldine Glass, a leader in the field of music as medicine, and I'm excited to share with you my newest release of healing sound, Pentatonic Visions, with Chris Scholler and Electrocast Records. Immerse yourself in ethereal realms where the harmonies of nature, tribal rhythms, and soundscapes blend with the crystal singing bowls. It's out now, streaming on all platforms. Hi, I'm Geraldine Glass, and I'm excited to share a new healing music offering, an extended version song called Joy Reboot, a unique fusion of pop, classic, rap, soundscapes, and funk to inspire collaboration and bring unity through sound. For us, Joy Reboot is music medicine, out now with Electrocast Records.
Electrocast.